Hey guys, welcome to my photography and videography channel. I am Visuals, and today we are going to be talking about my main photography camera, which is the Canon 80D. So we're going to be going through my main camera setup, my camera kit, everything that came with my camera, and for the stuff that came as accessories, we're going to go into all of that in detail. But without further ado, let's get into my camera. So my camera is the Canon 80D. I got it 5 years ago in my first year of university, so that's like 2018, 2019, and I got it, you know, with my SFE. The backstory is that I've always been like a vlogger, a photographer with a family camera, basically my camera because I used it the most. And then I also used to use film cameras a lot, so getting into photography was something that was really easy for me. Also at church, I was part of the media team, so I got to see different types of cameras that there are, and I decided that I wanted to get my own, and being part of the media team at church really showed me the different types of DSLRs that there are. So I got my first DSLR, the Canon 80D, and this is what I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm going to be showing you everything that came with it, such as the batteries, the chargers, and what lens I have, the flash, and anything else, SD cards, hard drives. And like I said, there will be videos for more detailed stuff, and I'm going to show you the camera settings as well. So let's get into this video. So there will be links down below telling you about the details about this camera, where you can buy one, and I really do recommend this camera for photography. I feel like there's only one photography camera better than this, and then after this the cameras are good for videography, but I think this is one of the best photography cameras that Canon has on the market, and the rest of the cameras are starting to be more used for videography, so like 4K filming for videos, cinematic, things like that. This does take good quality HD videos and 1080p videos, and if you have really good lighting, then it can be easy for you to upscale in editing. And especially if you're editing things raw, if you're taking photos raw, then and you have good lighting, then that's fine. But for videography, having great lighting is going to help with this camera. But yeah, the Canon 80D is what I see a lot of like great photographers use as well, but this is the one just before that. And there's a whole Canon hierarchy. I'll probably put a picture to explain what the hierarchy is for cameras. It's numbers, and then it would have like a D at the end. But so here's my camera. I'm going to show you guys a close-up. Just put the mic down. Let me put my mic on so you guys can still hear me. So hopefully you guys can still hear me well. Let me just... So this is my camera bag. I got it off of Amazon. It was exactly for my camera, the Canon 80D, with the biggest lens that I could get. So I'm going to get into that. The links for everything will be in the description. So the lens that I have is 18 to 135 millimeters. So to take off the lens, because it doesn't come with a lens on it, what you would press this button here and twist, and the lens comes off. Something that I see photographers with is sometimes putting the lens in their bag like this, or putting the camera in their bag like this. Your camera is extremely delicate, so you do not want to be just leaving it out in the open. This does come with a case that I'm going to show you, like a lid, and this comes with a lid that I'm going to show you as well. And so I got this lens because it was the best. Yeah, so to put it back on, there is a white dot, if you can see here, and you need to match it up with the white dot on here, and you can see a red dot there. So to put it on, you would align the dots, let me find it quickly, and twist, and that's how it goes back on. But you don't want any dust in there, any debris getting in there. It's very delicate. It's the sensor that's in there, and if there's a mirror in there, because this isn't a mirrorless camera. So yeah, so make sure you take care of that. So the lens that I got, it was the widest lens that I could get, the most affordable. And because I'm not really doing any wildlife photography where you'd want a really wide range to see, maybe you're very far away from the subject or the animal, and you want a really wide range, I'm not really shooting stuff like that. I'm mostly doing close-ups and maybe large crowds and events, because like I said, I do things like weddings, events, football games, so that's really as wide as it gets. And that's why I specifically got this lens. But there are way bigger lenses that you can get for different purposes, and I will do a video on lenses separately, but this is my current only lens. The Canon 80D does have its own kit lens, which is slightly smaller, so obviously it will have a smaller width of the picture, I guess. yes, but I specifically wanted something that was slightly wider, not too wide, not too small, and that's why this lens was perfect for me for photography. So now, if we just want to look at the body of the camera, I actually do have like a rubber case on it, and this rubber case is specifically for this camera. I like to get rubber cases for all my cameras. I'm going to show you my other cameras in other videos, and that's literally to protect my camera. I don't really like cameras having scratches on them, having wear and tear, and like I said, I do work in media groups, so other people are going to be touching my stuff, and I just really don't want them to drop it or break it. Not that that would help from it being dropped, but I just really don't want it to have scratches. I want it to look brand new. So let's get to the basics of camera function. So if you look over here, there is an off and on button, right? And if you look here, this is where a battery would go. So I'm going to show you. When it comes to battery, the camera I bought, it only came with one battery, and I actually bought this camera off of a website which no longer exists, and the website was called, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but they had cheap electronic gear and camera equipment, but it got discontinued. Hopefully there's something like that in the future. But these is the collection of batteries that I currently have. One of them isn't working because on my birthday I put it in my bag, and I had like nail glue in my bag because I wanted to do like quickly press on nails, and the glue went onto one of the batteries and that battery's gone, unfortunately. If you can still see the glue, I tried to like use a nail file to get the dry glue out, but RIP that one. So I made sure to get multiple batteries. Let me tell you, this camera has amazing battery life for photography, and also has amazing battery life for videography, unlike the camera that I'm filming with, which is a Canon G7X, which I'll also be showing you guys. But it has amazing battery life. It can go for up to like 3 hours for videos and way more for photos, because photos takes up less battery. So in order to show you camera functions, I'm going to put a battery inside. So you can see an arrow there, and it shows you what way the battery goes. Just going to slide it inside, and there we have it. So obviously I also have SD cards that I put in. Just a cheeky shout out, I normally get my SD cards from SanDisk. An unboxing video is going to be on my channel and my TikTok as well, visuals, and hard drives. So when I want to put this onto a computer or send to people, I also get from SanDisk, and I have videos on these as well. So now I'm going to get an SD card. That was close. I almost dropped my camera. So now I'm going to get an SD card and put it inside. So these are all the SD cards that I own, apart from the SD card that is currently in the Canon G7X, which is filming this video. And I'm just going to put one of the larger ones inside, because I know they probably have more space or empty. So SD cards go in here. You just slide it and open it up. This camera is quite heavy, by the way. I guess it's the lens that adds to the weight as well. And also, I don't think I said, this comes with the camera. So Canon 80D. So let's start from the beginning. Turning the camera on, you would literally just press that there, and you hear that click sound. That means it's on. And you will also see this over here will be on, and you'll see the battery life and the different settings. So you can see the ISO and then other different functions. So when it comes to settings, what I like to do is always start with my camera settings cleared, because I don't know what settings I may have left it on. So what I do is I go to menu, let me show you guys, menu, focus, and then I go on to clear all camera settings. I click that. It's touchscreen, by the way, and then it says clear all camera settings. Just had to double check that wasn't formatting the card. And then I press OK, and that should clear. So now all the camera settings are clear, so you can start from scratch. So I like to have my camera on manual. The reason I like to have my camera on manual is because I want to be able to control every single setting on this camera. So let's take off this cap. Settings that you have are, okay, let's start with ISO. I'm going to do a more in-depth one, but ISO is basically the brightness of a photo, and something that you never want to do is you never want to bump up the ISO so high. I think the general rule is don't go above 1000, and I think 1000 is still too high, because the higher you go with the ISO and the brightness, and the higher, there's going to be more grain in your photos, and your photos are going to not look as high quality, and they're going to look really bad, and they're not going to look as detailed and outlined, and like colors might be weird because you've forced the camera to try and manipulate high brightness, and it's just made the pictures not look good. So I'm going to show you how to change your ISO. So over here there is a setting button for ISO, and you would just click that. So I just click that, and once you click that, you get this little dial over here. And once you have that dial, yes, that is me. Once you have that dial, you can then, so once you have that dial, you can, what's it called? Sorry, I got distracted looking at myself. You can increase the ISO by using, I don't know if you can see it, so let me press ISO again. So you press ISO, because you press ISO, that dial comes up, and then you can use this little thing over here, I don't know, this crunchy button, and you can just bring the ISO up or down. And if I bring it all the way up, you can see me getting brighter, and I bring it all the way down, you can see me getting darker. And if that very bottom is on auto, so it automatically does it for you. So ISO is basically for brightness, but I'd say never, oh, my lip gloss, I hope it hasn't been like that for the whole thing. So never have your ISO too high, because it will make your pictures not look great. Oh my gosh, my lip gloss was coming off, but hopefully that doesn't mess up the video. But so that's how you do ISO. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, there's another way for you to do the ISO as well. So instead of pressing the button off the top and then doing the crunchy button, because it's touchscreen, you can click. So let me do that again. So at the bottom, I like to see the settings, and then if you click ISO, then you can control the ISO yourself. So that's another way to do it with the touchscreen. And then once you're done, you can go back by pressing this, and you go back, and then the ISO is set. So that's for ISO. So the next thing that we can talk about is the f-stop. So the f-stop is basically, it's also the aperture, and the aperture is how much light you allow to come into the camera. So the aperture is controlled by, you can see 3 point something, it's the middle one. So you had the ISO, and now the aperture is, focus, the middle one. So you can see when you turn it down or up, when you turn the aperture up or down, it can change the brightness. So the other thing you can change at the very end is the shutter speed. And the shutter speed is how, because basically whenever you take a photo, the shutter closes and opens, and how quick it closes and opens determines the frame of how long that picture is taken. If the shutter speed is really slow, then you're gonna get blurry movement from, while the picture was being taken, people were moving around or something was moving, then you're gonna get that blur. But if the shutter speed is really fast, then if someone was running and you quickly take, it's like a blink, if you quickly take a picture while someone's running or moving quickly, then you can have like a crisp image with no blurs of their legs. So let's say you're doing sports photography and you want to quickly get someone, then you get that quickly, and there will be no blur of their hands moving or stuff like that because of the shutter speed. And so that's it for that. So I guess this video is going to be more photography based. I will go into the settings for videography because that's slightly different. And then if you go, so let's say you want to go and see the photos you've taken, what you do is you would press this button here. This SD card's currently full. I will show you with another SD card quickly. A whole 128 GB and it's full. Crazy. But so if you want to see the photos that you've already taken, you can press this. Oh, there are actually no photos on this because it's brand new, but that's where you would go to see photos. And so if you want to use the camera flash, what you do is you press this button here, press that. Oh wait, we're currently on video. Yeah, so to switch from video to camera settings, what you do is, obviously it looks different without a case, but there's this little thing that says start stop here, and what you do is you would switch the dial. Ooh. Yeah, so what I did is just switch that, and now it's on photography mode instead of videography mode, and the flash will now come out if I press this button, and you can now take a photo. So that's how that looks. Yep, and that's it for that. Oh, there was no SD card in the camera, so you can't see the photos. So if you want to see the information of, if you want to see info, like this can show you how balanced the camera is. So right now you can see that it's not balanced. I just clicked info. If I press info again, then I can see the current settings that the camera is on, like if there are any effects that have been put on, how high the ISO is, how high the aperture is, how high the shutter speed is, all that information. And you can do that the same for looking at pictures that you've already taken as well. And then there's just extra information there. For those of you who understand it, cool. So if you look at the dial here, I rarely ever change it from manual because I like to, let's just focus. I rarely ever change it from manual because I like to control everything such as the aperture, the shutter speed and the ISO by myself, because I don't always trust the camera to do that. But if you saw one setting that said TV would be, okay, so what you want to do, if you press the dial and then turn. So TV, that is if you want to prioritize the shutter speed, so the T stands for time. And AV, if you want to prioritize your ability to edit the aperture and then let the camera focus on the other settings. And obviously manual is what I use. I don't really use anything else, but when I do, I will definitely make a video to show you how that is done. And that's it for settings. So I'm going to show you everything that I own that came with this Canon 80D. So everything that I own with this Canon 80D is in this bag that I got off of Amazon, will be linked in the description. And I've labeled it so I can see wherever I put it, I can see from all angles what is inside this. Because I have loads of this for the different things that I own. So if I open this up, hope I'm still recording. Yes. So if I open this up, I have so many camera lens cleaners. It is crazy. And they come in handy. Like, you're always going to need to wipe your camera lens on a shoot. So it comes in handy. I have quite a few of those. So here's what I have in my camera kit. The batteries would normally all go in here, but I have like a station in my room where I have a battery charging station. So it's just quick. I have a shoot coming up, make sure my batteries are charged. So that battery charging station is permanently there. Otherwise, all my batteries would be in here. And also my lens would be in here, which I'm going to show you later. So things I have in here are the cap for my flash, which is an external flash, which I'm going to show you. You know how I said that this lens needs to be covered and protected at all times? That the inside part, so this would be the cover for the lens and the end of the lens, and this would be the cover for the camera when there is no lens on it. So that's how those look. This is the cover for the end of the lens, and this is the cover for the camera, which is when it's naked. And they actually go together, which is cute. I have buttons to wirelessly take pictures of myself if I was to ever like take photos outside or want to film myself and not having to keep going to the camera, come back, do the timer thing. I can just press this, take a picture, change, take a picture, change, press, take a picture, change, and have time to actually hide the remote as well. And then I also have, when I say I have so many remotes, it's not even funny. I just have collected so many different remotes over the years. And there is a setting for that. It's a Bluetooth setting. It's a way to wirelessly take photos, and I'll show you that in another video if you're interested. Then I also have a few spare caps, because the first time I ever lost my cap, I was on a photo shoot, so I was like, let me order two just in case. Never have lost it again, because now I am vigilant and diligent. Then I have, this is for my tripod at home. It's actually with my friend in London. She has my tripod, so I guess I'll ask for it, but this is the stand. And then I have a camera lens cleaning kit. I've never actually cleaned my camera lens because I don't want to mess anything up, but the day I do, I will definitely do a tutorial and show you guys how that is done. So now the last thing to basically show you is my camera lens, my camera flash. So I bought this flash. I'm planning to do a separate video on how to use this flash, which I probably will, but just in short, let me know if you do want a video on how to use the flash. But just in short, the mount on the top of the camera is called a horseshoe mount. You need to make sure that whatever you put on this mount is compatible for your camera. You don't want to damage the horseshoe, because there's literally something on there that's able to read what this flash is. To turn it on, you press this to power it on, and then The only settings that I ever change are I press M and I either go up to increase the brightness of the flash or down. Wait, it didn't flash. Oh, that's because there's no camera in the SD card. No SD card in the camera. But in another video, I will show you how the flash works in more depth and more detail and how the settings work. So to turn it off, you would hold the turn off button and then just screw it the other way, slide it off the horseshoe mount. And this came with a bag, and I got it from Amazon as well. Link will be in the description. It's from Newer, and I trust them when it comes to lighting. Literally all my lighting is from Newer. I tend to stick with brands. That's just a bit of me. So that's it for the flash. It does come with a stand because you can actually use it remotely and not on the camera. But like I said, there will be a separate video for that. And the flash usually does stay in this bag of miscellaneous Canon 80D equipment. Like I said, all my batteries for my camera, I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then including the one in the camera, 6. So I have 6 batteries. They would also go in here neatly. I'm not putting it in neatly now, but so let's talk about camera chargers. Let me quickly put the SD cards away. Let me put the SD cards back. And then so this charger came with my camera, and this was the original charger that came with my camera. I had it for a long time. I like to label my stuff if you're seeing labels and blue stickers. So that's the original charger. And then I went ahead and bought a secondary charger because while I'm on a shoot, I can't risk having to wait for batteries to charge. Hence why I have multiple batteries and multiple chargers. So I'm never waiting for something to charge, and I'm never waiting for something to charge. I can just have batteries on the go, batteries charging, so I can't get caught lacking. So this is literally all my miscellaneous Canon 80D stuff. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it so much. This is going to be the thumbnail, and thank you so much for watching this video about Canon 80D unboxing and everything to do with my Canon camera. And I hopefully you found this video helpful, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And there will be the Amazon links below, the affiliate links where you can purchase all of these things. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been Visuals. Bye.